on the right track. 3-1 yesterday. About time. Should have gone 4-0. Padres forgot to score, and Paul Skeens decides to return to the Paul Skeens of the last couple of years. Velocity was back up. He threw as good a game as he's thrown for over a month now. Padres, they were hitting the ball, stopped hitting. And again, Skeens starts to pitch good again. That stops us from a 4-game sweep. Sometimes the ball bounces your direction, sometimes it don't. White Sox had me worried a bit. We did this once before the DeGrom. Who the hell? We were in Texas. We were against DeGrom. If you guys remember, I think we put a 5 spot on DeGrom in the first, and we wind up losing that game. Last night we put 6 on DeGrom, and as my man Luis says, it was still a comfortable victory, but all of a sudden it looked like, hey, we got a problem here after scoring 6 in the first on DeGrom. I think it was San Diego Padres. Come on, Ginger, you should have remembered that. You out there yet, Ginger? San Diego Padres, 5 in the first on DeGrom at Texas. That was a tough L. Guys, 162-game season, there's going to be games like that, and there's going to be stretches like this. It's been a fucking absolutely brutal stretch. We broke it last night. Just wish we could have finished it off. And that's my man, Van Vasquez did us dirty. When Mason Miller gives up his first home run of the year, 2 out in the ninth, it's been a cursed stretch. Again, let's hope that we are now past it, that we broke the ice. But yeah, not the way I want to end the night, 3-0, and then Mason Miller, lights out relief pitcher, probably the most dominating relief pitcher since Mariano, and he gives up a home run with 2 out in the ninth, the only run scored of the game. So let's get at it. Just 2 bets so far today, no big ones. A 1-unit bet and a 1.5-unit bet. More could be coming as usual. That is going to depend on the lines, the lineups, and so forth. Just wanted to touch upon Skeens' night, that he had a really good night. Because you'd hate to see, and it got nothing to do with the statistics betting, but that this kid went from phenomenal to less than average, and that's why the bet was against him last night. Some crazy stuff happening. You have the Rangers and Astros flip-flopping in the AL West. Again, Astros come from behind to beat the Yankees. Yankees had a chance to climb within 2.5 of Tampa Bay, who lost, but they lose at home to Houston. Rangers, as I said, DeGrom gets raped in the first inning. He's a different pitcher on the road, guys. It's not the same Jacob DeGrom. He's going to have those lights out games. Don't know if he's going to string too many of them together, especially on the road. He's just not the same outside of Globe Life Field. Didn't see any bitching in chat. I haven't seen a comment in the chat. Matter of fact, somebody throw a comment in there when we're done, or if you can now, and I'll check it later. I hope we're not having a problem with the chat. And guys, the chat is yours. It's just that if everything's going to be negative on every run scored by the other team, and it gets monotonous. I said great bounce back, John. Oh, how you doing, Ginger? I was surprised you didn't know who it was when we talked about DeGrom in the first inning. That's why I was questioning you. I had full card today and a couple of day games, so let's get at it. First game of the day, Rays at Tigers. They split the first 2. Tigers, they went red hot. They opened up that lead in the AL East. They're coming back to the pack. Again, guys, ebbs and flows. The best teams hit cold streaks. The worst teams hit hot streaks. The Kansas City Royals, hottest team in baseball right now. 9 straight wins. I think I got it in the stats here. Hitting 3 something over that period of time. This team scores the least amount of runs on the road all year, and this is baseball. Can't figure it. No guarantees. You just got to go by the numbers and have an edge on the numbers. So, Rays and Tigers go at it today. Rays have now lost 3 of the last 5. And they're going to have Peralta on the mound. I've started a new segment, if you guys want to see on Instagram. It's called the Hot Cold segment. And I actually used Peralta as the cold pitcher. He's now made 4 starts with with the Rays since coming over from the Mets. And I'm being nice to leave out the first one because the first one was at Coors Field. They got annihilated in that one. Over his last 3, 0-2 with a 5.09 ERA. But in the I don't know, whatever you want to call it, the post, the meme, the whatever, over 4 starts, he's just been absolutely brutalized for 7 ERA. Brutal on the road this year, 2-6, 6.79 ERA. Most of that he was pitching, obviously, with the Mets, but we're talking about just road. Higher on the road also last year when he pitched for the Milwaukee Brewers. Tigers snapped a 6-game losing streak. I was telling you guys, stick a fork in them. They're done. They got their season finished off, and they got swept at home by the White Sox, who they were chasing. Melton on the mound today, still a 1.70 ERA for the season, but last 2 have not been dominating. Last time out, gives up 3 runs, 7 hits, and 5 2/3 to those red hot Royals that we were just speaking about. Still pitching good ball, but hasn't been as dominating. At home, got a 2.09 ERA this year, had a 2.01 ERA last year. He's a gem. He's their ace. He's the Tigers' ace right now. Peralta is the worst pitcher on the Rays. My number on this game, guys, is only 116, and that's due to the fact that Tigers, as I said, is a dead team now. They break a 6-game losing streak last night. 116 is my number. The game right now sitting at 118 at Bet Online. Obviously, 116 falls within the lay of 118 and the take of 107. We've got no action in that one. Cubs and D-backs. What a game for the D-backs last night. 3 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, and they beat the Cubbies 5-4. Sin that they didn't show up the night before. Cubs 2-3 on this West Coast trip. Remember, they dropped the first 2 at Seattle. They put a 22 spot on the board. What did they put on the board? Well, it's something crazy at Seattle. Anyway, they're scoring 7.8 runs per game, but mostly due to that one game at Seattle. Still 8 games over 500 on the road, 5.47. That's a nice, juicy number to be scoring on the road. Boyd on the mound. Boyd, last 3 games, 1-1, 6.38 ERA, got hit for 5 runs, 4 earned in 6 innings at Seattle. And again, you gotta always remember, you get hit hard at Seattle, that's a pitcher's ballpark. So Boyd not going good right now. Did face the Diamondbacks earlier this year and beat them, holding them to 2 runs in 6 innings. Last year threw 5 shutout innings. So last 2 starts against the Diamondbacks both went well. Boyd, you've got a bunch of Cub pitchers now. Really, it depends who's hot at the right time. Shota, Boyd, Cubbies added Guzman and Holmes. All these pitchers, give or take, and then there's Rhea, all right around average. But again, who's hot at the right time? Who's better on the road? Who's better against the opposition? Boyd a little better against the opposition, but not great the last 3 hours. Call him an average Cub pitcher for the time being. And when Assad is at home, yes. And Assad, they've been abusing him. They've been sending him down, bringing him up, throwing him outside the rotation. And Peterson, I don't know even who's going to make that next start for the Cubbies. Peterson was the other guy with big grab. Remember, they were decimated. They started the year without Justin Steele. Then they lose Cade Horton. Cabrera spent a ton of time on the IL. Brown started pitching good ball for them, and then he gets pushed on the IL. So their pitching's been a disaster. My guess for today, bets on KC A's today. Lean to Woo at home. Good job, Luis. You're close on all of them, buddy. If it's not a bet, it's a lean. Got to be careful with Woo left last start with shoulder inflammation, and they pushed that start back. We'll talk about it. Anyway, Cubbies going against the D-backs ace, and that's Rodriguez. Phenomenal year, 13-4, 2.61 ERA for the season. Last 3, won all 3 of them. 1.93 ERA, 0.96 WHIP. Both these teams hit lefties. Cubs crush lefties at 269. So what adjective do we use for the D-backs? Best team in Major League Baseball versus left-handed pitching, 280. 269 would be far and away would lead Major League Baseball in batting for a team. Just trying to give you an idea where 280 is. It's in the stratosphere when you're hitting 280 as a team, anything, and this against left-handed pitching. So D-back should be able to put it on Boyd. My number on this game, gentlemen, is Arizona 118. This game right now sitting at 09 at Bet Online. Arizona 09. Would have to get further. It would have to be Arizona as a dog for me to be on them, but I would be on them. Definitely it's Arizona or nobody. But we'll wait for the lineups. We got day game after night game. Always remember, guys, day games after night games, you got to watch those lineups. Reds and Giants face off today. Giants have won the first two. This is a decimated Giant squad. We talked about what they did at the trade deadline. They moved pitchers. Robbie Ray and Mal went to the Braves. Ramos, he left. Arias left. Chapman got hurt even before the trade deadline. He's been on the IL. Schmidt on the IL. Now Adames on the IL. Eldridge is on some kind of bereavement. I don't even know where they're getting guys to play. Probably picking guys off the streets in San Francisco. Somehow they go and beat the Reds. The first two games of this series, Reds, another team, basically packed it in. Lodolo will be on the mound. He's been on and off the IL all year long. He's just this guy's a really good pitcher when he's right. He's not right now. Last three starts 0-1, 7.30 ERA, 1.78 WHIP, and he's always better on the road. Doesn't like to pitch at Great American Park. Better on the road, but right now he's not pitching well. Reds have lost 4 or 5 on this trip. Giants, as I said, don't know how they're doing it. Pretty much nobody left in that lineup. And they're really not doing it with their bats. Only 3.6 runs per game over their last 5, 4 runs an average in this homestand. They'll go with Roop on the mound. Roop, 4 runs, 3 earned, and 5 1/3 in a loss against the Guardians. His last start, he's dropped his last 3 starts, posting a 4.41 ERA. This year versus the Reds, he threw 6 shutout innings in a win. Last year, he lost, but allowed only 1 run in 6 innings. So he's had great success against the Reds. Do they show up to play San Fran for the sweep? If you listen to that kid that talks about sweeps, we just bet against the sweep, he would say no. My number on this game is Cincinnati 03. Right now, you're looking at San Fran 06, Cincy minus 04. So there's no value in this game at all. Again, we'll wait for lineups. Another day game we got. Hold on just 1 second, guys. Guardians and Angels. Guardians one of the few favorites that one. It was a dog night last night, guys. It was a dog night last night. Guardians extra innings, but they win it 8-6. I told you guys after that 3-game sweep at Colorado, White Sox, watch out. Here come the Guardians. That was my pick at the All-Star break. Because again, I told you I liked what they did. They added Griffin. They added Adele and Lowe, just enough to be able to give it a run in the AL Central, the weakest division in Major League Baseball. And this is a team that's been there. And that's why they got to give them the advantage over that White Sox young up-and-coming team. White Sox hanging in there. We love the White Sox. Got us paid again last night. Guardians now, that's 6 straight wins for them. 6.17 runs per game. That's what's been missing. But again, remember those 3 prior games at Coors Field they scored there. 4 games over 500 on the road for the season. Just a tinge, 4.01 runs per game. Ramirez waking up. Yeah, I believe it was 5 RBIs last night for Ramirez. They put it on the Angels last night, as I said, in extra innings. Cantillo goes for them today. Basically, their number 5 starter. So I call it the best pitching staff in the AL Central. When you've got Messick at the top, again they traded for Griffin. You've got Williams and Bibby. there. And then you got Cantillo, not a bad number 5 guy, posting a 3.73 ERA, 9-7, 3.73 for the season. Allowed 1 run in 4 and 2/3 versus the Rockies at Colorado. So when you go to Coors, give up. He didn't get the innings deep enough that I like, but only 1 run in 4 and 2/3, not a bad start. 1-0, 2.31 ERA his last 3. You got an Angels, a dead Angels team here. They're going nowhere. Guardians charging hard for that AL Central right now, also holding that last wild card spot. Angels lost 4 of their last 5. Now 9 games under 500 at home. Worst scoring home team in Major League Baseball, the Angels are. They'll have Rodriguez. Now, the only good thing for them, Rodriguez showing signs of life. This kid was throwing absolutely BP. Remember, he missed all of last year, and he was just getting drilled every time out. Last 3 have been serviceable starts, 1-1 with a 3.60 ERA, and that includes his last time out. A really good start. Allowed 2 unearned runs in 7 innings in a win versus the Astros. So he's pitching better, but this is a dead Angel team. Playing the Guardians. Guardians in the daytime. Just be careful. My man Ginger said Jose Ramirez waking up. They've been resting Ramirez. They've been giving him some rest. They rested him on Sunday, I believe, day game after night game. So again, day game after night game. Be careful for that one. Again, my number on this game, guys, is Cleveland 41. Not many times am I higher with a road favorite, especially, but I am on this one. But again, we'll look for the lineups. Again, I'm higher, not high enough to make a play, but only 6 cents worth of an edge. Pirates and Pods. Pods have cost us, close to what, 4.5 units, 2 days against the Pirates. Pirates get swept at LA, can't score. Go to San Diego, still can't score, but take 2 games. And then Mason Miller, best relief pitcher in baseball, gives up a 2-out 9th inning home run. So you can't make this shit up sometime, guys. O'Neill Cruz, a bullet out in right field. The only run of the game, hits a home run, 2 out in the 9th, and now the Pirates take a 2-game lead. Padres won 2 of 3 at Pittsburgh way back in April, and they won 5 of 6 last year. So I didn't want to say it ownage, but they play very well, and here they go blowing the first 2 games of this series. Anyway, Pirates now rebounded after losing 3 straight at LA Dodgers, but still this trip, 2.2 runs per game, and that's what we were betting against, that and Skeens, obviously. Padres 3-2 on the homestand. Still 12 games over 500 at home for the season. And they'll have Vasquez on the mound. They've been jerking his kid all around, up and down. He's a starter. Use an opener. He's pitching good as a starter. All right, let's try putting an opener in front of her. He gets banged when they put the opener there. Well, they put him back in as a starter last time out. 2 runs in 7 innings in a win versus the Twins. So they'll start him again today. In a quirk for Vasquez, who was much better at Petco Park last year. 3.28 ERA, home ERA last year, as opposed to a 4.48 road ERA. This year it's inverted. He's actually got a lower ERA on the road. Chandler pitching better ball for the Pirates. He would be 3rd in line after Ashcraft Skeens, or maybe flip Skeens above Ashcraft after that great outing last night. Either way, Chandler would be your number 3 starter. Call him your average Pirate starter. With that said, I'm still a higher number on the Padres. With Vasquez in there, my number says it should be 138. This game opened at 120. It has gone up to 132 at Bet Online. 1 second here, guys. But again, not enough room for when I've got a day game after night game, I'm going to make sure, especially if I'm laying the juice. I was on the Padres first 2 games. Could not be on them. I see a full lineup on the Padres today. So we missed the minus 120. Not sweating it. We'll move on. Phillies at Mariners. That's how baseball goes. Phillies, 9 straight wins. They go out to Seattle. I talked about this trip on Monday, 3,000-mile trip northeast, all the way across country to northwest. They don't show up on the first game Monday night. They get beat again last night. We talked about Wheeler, how he's on the downside. Well, he's on the downside, but Luzardo's been Luzardo almost replacing him as the number 2 Philly pitcher at this point. Remember, I don't care what you've done in your career. I don't care what you did in April. Who are you now? We talk about this all the time. You take college basketball. Who gets hot in March? Not what that team played like in November. It's got nothing to do with it. Same thing with any sport, football, any sport. Who is that team right now? Are they red hot or are they ice cold? Ginger says, just keep effing these kids up with the start of bullpen swing. He was referring back to what I was talking about with Vasquez. Again, some people need an opener. Some people are just starters. When a guy, if it's a simple rule, okay? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Guy's pitching really good as a starter. Why would you put somebody? Because you think the starter could get this lefty out of something? It just doesn't make sense. Anyway, uh, Ginger, how about Kirby pitching a gem? Kirby, who was pitching, who's getting all kinds of cracked around, and he comes up with a gem. This is baseball. Anyway, Phillies now losing 2 games in a row. They'd won 9 straight, scoring at least 6 runs in 8 of the 9. Now they've scored 3 runs while losing 2 games at Seattle after that 9-game losing streak. I told you guys, 3 straight seasons prior to this year, Phillies have finished 41-40 on the road. That's who they are. 1 game over 500. Now to 2 losses, they're down to 5 games over 500. Barely over 4 runs per game on the road. Wouldn't be surprised to see that go low. Anyway, Luzardo, last 3 starts, 1-0 with a 2.33 ERA, where he has been phenomenal and has yet to lose is on the road. 7-0, 1.95 road ERA for Luzardo, where he's great on the road. Wu is great at home. Wu's got a 4.10 ERA overall, but he's 7-0 with a 1.96 home ERA. Look, I'm not a total better, but you total guys might want to sniff out a little under in this game. You got a pitcher's ballpark with a pitcher that's great at home, facing a pitcher that's great on the road. 2 teams that aren't scoring. It just yells under. Now, again, I don't make numbers on total, so I wouldn't know if it's an overlay or if it's an underlay. But just throwing that out there for you guys. As I said, Wu, and it was Braca Power that brought it up. Hasn't pitched since the 16th against the Astros, and that was another strong outing. His last 3 outings, 2-0, 1.00 ERA, 0.67 WHIP. As I said, home, lights out, 7-0, 1.96. So the worry there is, yes, they pushed this start back. But look, they've done this. When you're going to do this with one of your young pitchers, if you don't think he's right, you don't bring him. You don't bring him back in. They just brought up the new kid, the phenom. So they have enough pitching out there. So you want to feel that they're doing what's best and the guy's not injured. That being said, you're going to keep an eye on it. All this said, my number on this game, guys, is Luzardo 102. Now, this game opened 125. It's 129. So if my number is 102, the take back right now is at DraftKings, you could take back 123. This is another day game after night game. We'll be looking for lineups on both teams here. Cal Raleigh starting to hit the ball out of the ballpark already again. Does he sit as the catcher day game after a night game? I'll be on the Seattle Mariners in this game. I'm not on them yet. We're not going to interrupt the line, let it continue to go up. We want to see the lineups also, but it's Mariners or nobody, especially at that plus 123 number if everybody's in the lineup. DraftKings actually just ticked down a penny to 122. Red Sox at Mariners. This game actually saved us a bet last night. And that's why we don't chase the number. If we don't get the right number, we don't chase the number. The Sharps buried the Marlins last night. And we said it would be Marlins and nobody. And the Marlins fought them tough, took them to extra innings, but the Red Sox just keep winning. I've told you guys a million times. Just like I do, the other Sharps out there tend to repeat with teams. They bet the shit out of Marlins yesterday. Well, they bet the shit out of Marlins today. This line opened up at plus 136. This game is down to plus 118 at Bet Online. I see no value today in the Marlins. This is, we talk about pitching edge, pitching advantage, pitching mismatch, and I'm closer to a pitching mismatch than a pitching advantage in this one. Gray has just had, I mean, what a season. 16-3, 2.79 ERA. Last time out, he did give up 4 runs in 6 innings, but still last 3-2-1 with a 2.84 ERA. He's almost the same exact picture on the road that he is at home this year. At home, 2.82 ERA. On the road, 2.77 and 7-1 on the road. He's just been phenomenal. Versus the Marlins last year, he did allow 3 runs in 5 innings. He'll go up against Gusto for the Marlins. He gave them 4 innings. He allowed no runs against the Nationals his last time out. He's been decent his last 3. But they're all short outings, 4 innings, 4.2 outings. Red Sox, they had that one bad stretch where they dropped 7 of 9. But even with that, take that stretch from when they started red hot, they've been the hottest team in baseball over the last couple of months. Marlins, they've dropped. They're 3-2 on this homestand after dropping the first 2. They swept the Nats. My number on this game, guys, is Boston 38, 138. The opening line was 150 with a take back of 136. So my 38 fits right in the middle of that 150, 136. Line right now is down to 130. I think it's actually too low. Again, we'll be looking for the lineups in this one. This is a night game, so you don't have the day game if the night game factor. If anybody's going to sit people, you tend to think it'd be more likely be the Miami Marlins, a team that's pretty much out of it. Rocks and Nats and 2 of the coldest teams in baseball. Actually use the Nats as our example of, we talked about the post I'll be putting up each day. It's the hot and the cold. What teams are hot, what players are hot, hitting, pitching, and the same thing, who's cold. And who's cold are the Nationals. They are now lost 8 of their last 10, batting 194 over that period. Most of those games now without C.J. Abrams. He has played the last 2 games of this series, and the Nats have scored 7 runs, average 7 runs in the series. Still, it's been the same thing as all season long with the Nats. 9 games under 500 at home. They won on the road, just could not get the W's posted at home. They've picked up Waldron. Waldron is the knuckleballer. Pitched for Padres. Past couple of years, up and down in their farm system. Pitched for them at the start of the year. They dropped him. He went over to the Blue Jays, now on his 3rd team. This will be his first start. He saw the Rocks earlier in the year when he was with the Padres, and he gave up 6 runs in 5 innings. That's not a good sign. Rocky snapped the 7-game losing streak, so they're just as cold as the Nats. They did get Hunter Goodman back last night, and he hits a home run in his first game back. As I said, Rocky snapped that 7-game losing streak. Nats, they've dropped 8 of 10. 2 ice cold teams, two shit ass pitches. Gordon, 0-2, 4.97 his last 3. He's done a good job. Short sample size on the road. Remember, pitching at Coors or pitching out at Sacramento, you can have that inflated ERA. That's what he's got at home. Gordon posting a 7.89 ERA, much better on the road. Goodman goes the Rockies. Crazy one play can help that much. 35 home runs, my man. Yeah, he helps that much. Anyway, let's get back to the that game. I've got the Nats as an 0-3 favorite. This game right now sitting at 127, but takeback's only 115, 116. Not enough out over the plus 0-3 if it continues to go higher. If the Nats give C.J. Abrams a break tonight, it would be Rocks or nobody for me. But again, we'll see what goes on later in that game. Astros, Yankees. Astros got the job done yesterday. Yanks needed that win. As I said, would have closed it to 2.5 against Tampa Bay. Astros, by winning, leapfrog the Rangers. That looks like that's going to be a war down the stretch. And don't sleep on the Mariners, either one of the Texas teams. Mariners right behind both of those teams. So Diaz hits 2 home runs for the Astros yesterday. Astros win at 9-7. 2-3 now. Their last 5. They're at actually 2 games over 500 on the road, playing a little better on the road than they are at home. Yanks 3-2. Their last 5 split the 4 games of this homestand. They're going to have Elmer Rodriguez. They're going to call him up or recall him from their minors. This is going to be his first start. Let me see. Since hold on, his first start since May 21st. He's lost 2 of his 4 starts. He's made 4 starts, 0-2, 4.76 ERA. Lambert will be on the mound for Astros, and Lambert just could be hitting that. Remember, the guys that not used to working this deep into the season, this many innings, as the innings mount up, they tend to weaken. And we might have seen a little kink in that armor for Lambert. He's been solid all year, especially when Brown was out on the IL for a good chunk of the early part, really holding this staff together. But he got destroyed last time out. 9 runs in 3 2/3 innings and a loss to the Angels. And that's blasted his last 3, obviously. 0-2, 8.56 ERA, 1.76 WHIP. Lambert still better than average for the Astros. And now all you got to know is Rodriguez is going to come pitch for the Yankees. So let's look at that Yankee staff. You got Schlittler. You've got Cole. You've got Fried. You've got Rodon. You got Weathers. Where does Elmer Rodriguez fit into this? He fits in where Elmer Fudd fucking fits in. So they're going to drop the Yankees way down. Lambert, even though he got destroyed his last time out, he is still a better than average pitcher. This game right now is sitting at 115 to 118, depending on your book. I'm closer to a pick'em game in this one, so I've got to lean to the Astros as we had yesterday. And there you go again with the repeating with the same teams during a series. Sometimes it switches because the pitching matchup will dictate that or what happened in the game before. But for the most part, if you like a team in one game, you're going to follow that up. Looks like there's still a little more movement for the Cubbies. Cubbies going to 0-7, the favorite now. If they can make a dog out of D-backs, again, got to look for that line. Now you can remember, you've got a great catcher there in Moreno. Now, if Moreno's out, if that's the reason for the line moving, got day game after night game. You're not going to catch both day game after a night game. So we'll keep our eyes on that one also. Again, get those lineups, guys. Day game after night game. Assume the way to do it is to assume the catcher is not in the lineup, and then if he isn't, then you can make that bet. Royals, Blue Jays. Anything can happen. So just get back to the Cubs, who had I think 2 10-game winning streaks, then had a 10-game losing streak this season. Great teams could have a losing streak. Great teams could go in a funk. Remember that funk the Dodgers went in? Red Sox, horrible all year until this run over the last couple of months. Well, here's another one. Royals batting .304, scoring 6.11 runs per game while winning their last 9 games. This is a team that's 21 games under 500 on the road. Let me say this one more time. Royals, 21 games under 500 on the road. The worst scoring road team in baseball, 3.6 runs per game. They've won 9 straight. They did it again last night. They win 5-3 at Toronto. Just when we thought Toronto was trying to get back in that wild card race. This is a team that took the Dodgers to 7 games last year. Now they've dropped a few straight. 2-3 now their last 5, just 3.2 runs per game. This is the team again. They had the best home record in the American League last year. and they scored the most runs, home runs, not home runs, runs at home, 5.33 runs per game at home than any team in the American League this year. Now for the season, one game under 500 at home, 3.81 runs per game at home, a full 1.5 runs per game at home, less than last year. That's insane. A lot of that is due to, I'm sure many of you guys know, Vladdy has not hit a home run at Rogers Center in over a year. I could hit a fucking home run at Rogers Center if you gave me enough at bats over a year. Vladdy without a home run. It's just some of the stats that are out there are just crazy. That's why I say nobody can guarantee you nothing. You can guarantee what the numbers should be and where the number's going to go. You can't guarantee a win. We see that every day. Anyway, Miles will be on the mound. They'll be using him as an opener in this one. My number on Toronto is only 08. This game has gone crazy. This game right now up to 150. Dobnik is also one of my hot guys. Let me give you the stat on Dobnik. Now, if you're a VIP member and you've read the previews, then you know this stat. But not many guys are going to know this stat. Dobnik now, who's pitching to a 1.58 ERA for the season overall. Do you know that this kid has not given up a run in 23 and a third innings in 4 road games? He's not given up a run on the road this year. 23.1 innings. Last 3 starts, 2.45 ERA, 1.84 WHIP. Those two don't coincide. But Dobnik is going to get the pitching edge over a Toronto bullpen game. Miles will make his 5th time start as an opener. The way this line moved today, this is as if Bobby Witt was announced out, or they're just betting that the Royals can't win 10 in a row. Well, I'll take 136 that they can win 10 in a row as long as everybody's in the Royals lineup. Like I said, this is if Cags, Jock, or Bobby Witt were out. Circle the Royals because they got a full lineup. We're going to be right back on the Royals in that one. I'm hoping Wood Richardson is the bulk reliever, and I like Casey even more. Guess 7385. I don't know why it's coming up as guess for a lot of you guys again. But yes, whoever you are, the last guy making that comment, Minnesota, KC, division. Okay, what? But Brock and Powell, your name used to come up. Why is it now that? I don't understand. I'll have to see what B's got on. Yes, as a division rival, remember, you're going to play 13 games against your division rivals each season. If you're a starting pitcher, sometimes you'll see that you'll make 4 starts because there's going to be 4 series through the course of the season. So they'll be very familiar with him. So yeah, that's Royals and nobody in that one. This is a 1-unit bet. Send it out on the Mets. New York Mets. I don't know if we got any Met fans out there. 13-6 their last 19. Their best baseball of the season right now without Juan Soto, the $750 million man. He's on the IL. 13-6 their last 19 games. Stock on the mound for them. Now, this is a 36-year-old journeyman, but he's been solid at Citi Field. Not a big sample size, but a 1.32 ERA in his starts at there. Only 10.5 back of the wild card, exactly. So you got a Met team playing as good as they've played all year. Stock, while not a good pitch, less than an average pitcher, but he's doing a solid enough job at Citi Field. May was mold his last time out. Gives up 7 runs. Gives up 7 runs in just 2 innings to the Mariners. And since coming over to the Brewers, has a 6.00 ERA. Brewers 3-2 over their last 5. Tough way for them to lose the game. Great way for us to win a game. I don't know if you guys saw it. Infield in, bottom of the 10th. Ball hit at the third baseman, and he just throws it away. I mean, that's a play that's a routine play. You get the infield in, you did everything right. Throw it to the plate, and they get Lindor out at the plate. Again, this is just a number bet. It's a 1-unit bet. this number we took is plus 139. I can't make the Brewers with May on the mound this big a favorite at the Mets. Mets are playing good ball right now. So 1 unit for the Mets to come back and win the second game. Hamilton must be a Massa Edge member and had Mets for 2 units. Again, sometimes we say sometimes you're the window, sometimes you're the bug. You get squished or you do the squishing. Anyway, the other game that we bet is the next game, Dodgers at Braves, and it's another lean right back with the Braves. It's just a lean. I expect Dodger money to come in here because the Dodgers can't lose 2 in a row. Look, Dodgers are an overlay. I've been telling you this. There's a built-in 20 cents for the Dodgers. So we want even more than that. This game sitting at 127, take back 115 right now. This game to me is even. This is even as even could be, and I'll get into it. Even though Smith Shawver has not looked good, either his starts. His last time out gave up 4 runs and 4 1/3. Sasaki has looked better for the Dodgers. He was really pitching his best ball. Gave up 2 runs in 5 innings, 6 Ks, 1 walk versus the Rockies last time out. Has no decisions his last 3 starts, but posting a 3.18 ERA, which is also solid. Dodgers, they'd won 6 straight before last night, and they've been great on the road. 14 games over 500, 5.61 runs per game. Again, this is the Braves. Braves still they get a little breathing room with Philly losing these first 2 at Seattle and them winning last night, but they're looking to open that up. Brewers lose also last night. Your top 3 division winners right now, it's going to be Atlanta, Milwaukee, Dodgers. Of those 3 teams, 2 will get the bye. Right now, the Braves are the odd team out. Beating the Dodgers last night and the Brewers losing, little motivation. Hey, we can still jump into one of those spots. So Braves will be looking for a W. I'm looking for a plus 120 on this one. Again, want to have everybody in the lineup, but plus 120 or better will be on the Braves also for 1 unit. Rangers White Sox is the other game we had. White Sox 6 in the first off the ground. I mean, how nice was that to get 6? Like, it's just breathing room. Even though Rangers made it a little interesting later in the game, but 6 in the first, you're like, okay, we can't get swept again tonight. Rangers, they fall back out of first place by way of their loss, and the Astros win. As I said, guys, this is going to be a battle right down the wire. And don't forget the Mariners. This is the team that won it last year, just 2.5 games behind the Astros, 2 games behind Texas. Rangers will go with Gore on the mound. 6 shutout innings versus the Angels his last time out. 7 Ks, 1 walk. He's starting to pitch better. This guy was really rough earlier in the year. Was pitching. Oh, he's pitched good at Globe Life Field all season. Pitches ballpark. I think I could pitch well there. But now he's starting to pitch better. Last 3 starts, 1-0 with a 2.12 ERA. White Sox, they've split 6 games on this homestand. 13 games over 500 at home for the season. Only the Rays have a better home record in the American League. Burke, last couple of starts, not so good. You just want to see, is he hitting what Davis Martin hit? Martin had a great start, and then he just could not get out of his way. Burke last time out, 4 runs over 6 innings, 4 Ks, no walks versus the Mets. 4.67 ERA his last 3. So not getting pounded the way Davis Martin was before they went up putting him on the IL. But again, not pitching as good as he was. Allowed 1 run in 6 innings in a win versus the Rangers last year. Feel like they have started to overlay the Brewers too, says Ginger. Well, a little bit of both. Anytime you're playoff teams fighting for their place or playing teams that are out of it, the Mets, the Angels, and even the Royals. Even though the Royals are winning, there's that built-in couple of pennies. Some apps pay out money line. Team goes up 5 runs. So White Sox and Rangers going at it again today, as I said, and the White Sox, my number on this game is 139. This game's sitting at 122. Opened 125. We'll see if it gets down any lower. White Sox use those lefty righty switches, platoons. So we'll see who they'll be batting against the lefty. They pretty much hit the same versus lefties as they do versus righties. I neglected to mention another downside to Seattle is they cannot hit lefties. Luzardo pitching good. Mariners hit just 217 versus left-handed pitching, and that's why I want that number to go up a little higher. Orioles Cardinals. So Orioles put 13. Cards are done. We talked about after blowing that game Sunday, 4-0 lead, 2 out in the ninth at Philly. What a turnaround for us. I mean, you're talking about just a 3-unit turnaround on that one bet alone. I think that game ended the Cardinals season. A total no-show last night, lose 13-1. Orioles have won 3 of their last 5. Now, Pete Alonso did leave that game last night, but when you got a 13-1 lead, maybe you give him a break. Alonso's in there every day. Just keep an eye to see if Alonso's back in. I did not even put him in the preview. Again, I think him leaving was more to give him a little breather. With a 13, with a big lead, I don't know what the lead was when he came out of the game. But Pete gets in there every day. Mets was stupid for getting rid of Pete Alonso. I got to tell you that. Anyway, Bradish on the mound for the Orioles. 5 games under 500, 7-12 for the season, despite a 3.70 ERA. That doesn't equate to 7-12. Lost to the Yankees last time out, gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. Over his last 3 starts, 0-2, despite a 3.06 ERA. Again, should be getting better results with his ERA. Cardinals, they've lost 4 straight now. They were swept by the Phillies. They come home, as I said, after their season was basically ended in Philadelphia, giving up 6 runs in the ninth with a 4-0 lead with 2 out. They'll have McGreevy on the mound. At the beginning of the season, he was their ace. He really fell back to the pack. Leahy's done just a hell of a job, and Palante pitched some good bull, who's now on the IL. McGreevy 3.54 ERA, which is good and kind of similar to Bradish, just 5-9. The 5-9, if you have a 3.54 ERA, you deserve better luck than being 5-9. 3.18 ERA over his last 3. Just a little better at home than on the road this year in this game. And again, I expect Pete Alonso to be in the lineup. My number with him in is Orioles 07. Number on this game is anywhere between 107 Orioles and 109. So we're right on target with the number. Cardinals also put Wynn, the shortstop, on the IL yesterday, losing another body. So we'll see who else is in this game later on and where the line is at. Last game at night, and this is, I think it was Luis that had guessed the games. Yeah, this is it. 1.5. This is actually our biggest bet of the day. And there's a couple of reasons we're on this as our biggest bet of the day. One of them being Buxton, 3 at-bats last night, 3 Ks. Buxton made of glass. That's Ginger, I got to tell you something, kid. Right, he's right just the way I think. But I'm sure you read the previews. So with Buxton leaving last night, just his injury history, you can assume, and I hate to assume because we always use the expression, don't assume because you make an ass out of you and me, but you could assume that paper glass Buxton will not be in the lineup again today. So that's one of your big reasons. He leads the team in home runs. He is their leader and kind of pre-up right with pitching batting practice as well. Pitching batting practice, last 3 starts, 0-2, 9.56 ERA, 1.81 whip. On the road for the season, 0-4, 6.58. How the fuck you think he's going to do in Sacramento, the best hitters ballpark in the major leagues? And then you get the fact that, as we said, Buxton out. Now, the flip side is Jin. Jin has not been as good as he was earlier in the year, but he is still the ace of the A's staff. He's been really solid at home. 6-3, 3.58 ERA at Sacramento. Well, that's like a sub 3 ERA. Any pitching anywhere else, more like a 2.58 ERA. So he's been pitching great ball at Sacramento. Last three, not great, 0-2, 4.24. But that's a far cry from Prelip's 9 and change ERA. So you got an A's team that I've got rated down as low as I could. You got to boost their rating with Jin pitching at home. Twins, don't expect Buxton in the lineup. Prelip, their worst pitcher. Take their number down. I can't. This game's an even game to me. So we're all over this one, and it's a unit and a half on the A's. That is your preview for Wednesday, August 26th. If anybody's got any questions, we are going to go live on Instagram today with the little bit of a voice that I've got left. If there's anything else, guys, right now is your question. You got another minute. Remember, we're still looking at the Mariners as a lean. We're looking at the Royals. Going to bet the Royals as long as everybody's in that lineup. This stuff that you can't win in a game in a row. Are we giving out? No, we know. Well, we give out a free bet on Instagram. How about this? I've got to tell you something. I don't know if any of you guys are in the Telegram. So I've got somebody running all of that stuff, all of our marketing, promoting, and everything. We've been sending a lot of ads out. We've started this Telegram. We have every free bet. I've got no worse luck than anybody in the world. I got to be honest with you. Every free bet that we've given over the last 13 days is a loser. Last night, you can't make this shit up. We go 3-1, and we pick out the one loser to be the free bet in the Telegram. That was the Padres. That happened to us another. I think the 2 nights because we've been awful. We've been awful this week for about a week. But a couple of nights that we had winning nights, even the free bet in the Telegram was losers. So we'll be giving a free bet out, and we'll be giving it out on Instagram. We'll tell everybody to go to the Telegram for it. May we get a recap units, please? We bet the A's plus 125 unit and a half. We bet the Mets plus 139 for 1 unit. That's it. Those are our 2 bets. The leans. If the Diamondbacks become an actual dog, I'll be on the Diamondbacks at home, a team that hits 280 versus left-handed pitching with their ace on the mound. The other games we like, Marlins. How much higher can that go? If it goes higher, even though they hit 217 versus left-handed pitching, Woo's been really that good at home. I'd have to take a shot with them, and I expect it to go higher because you've got guys betting that no sweep. Phillies can't get swept. If it goes higher, we'll be on the Mariners as long as everybody's in the lineup. Definitely going with the Royals as long as everybody's in the lineup. That game is crazy. That'll be another 1 unit bet. Need to know who's giving out lineups if Royals sit, guys. Need to know who's giving out. I don't even know what you're trying to ask me. Need to know who's giving out lineups if Royals sit, guys. That's it, guys. I'm going to be headed over to Instagram. Those are the games we're looking at. Look, could also bet on the Braves. Why line jump so many? Look, if my anticipation is one of those guys are out, this line is ridiculous. You got a team that's won 9 straight games. You got KC's got the pitching edge, which Dobnik, I told you guys the stat, has not given up on a run on the road. Is he due to give up on a run on the road? Can the KC Royals do to lose a game? Yeah, they do. Does it mean it has to happen today? Does not. Guys, let me take another breather, and I'll meet you on Instagram in a couple of minutes. Let's keep it going. I wore the Let's Make Some Money shirt today. Let's make it, baby.